Hi, I'm Ron from the Neepawa Rotary Club. I'd like to tell you a little bit of what our club has been up to. Come on, follow me. One of the things our Rotary Club is most proud of is our connections with the youth in our community. Our club is also very proud to support youth internationally. There are a few things that we do to make our meetings interesting, informative, and fun. A slideshow is used to keep members informed of important events and upcoming dates. We try to fit in fun wherever we can. We try to have one special event every month. We use social media and a variety of print options to promote ourselves.
Good day and welcome to NAC TV's Rotary Auction Report. My name is Lyle Watson and I'm pleased to be here as a host for not only this program today, but we're looking at filming several programs over the coming week. So we ask you to check your schedule in the Neepawa Banner and Press and tune in about 8 o'clock each evening from here on into the end of the auction. I'd like to give you a little bit of history about the auction and the exciting time, but it's a whole different ballgame this year with the COVID-19. We're switching to an online auction throughout a given week, starting December the 11th, starting December 3rd and running through till the 10th. So we've got a whole week to do our bidding online, and we'll be getting further information from our guests as we go through the programs this week. I would also like to give just a little bit of a history of the Rotary auction sale. It's not something that started yesterday by any stretch of the imagination, as a lot of you will remember. Rotary itself, the Club of Neepawa, was chartered in 1951. Following shortly after that, about the mid-50s, they started a fundraising auction sale. Of course, back in those days, it was donated used items, and it was a live auction on a Saturday afternoon behind the Hamilton Hotel. And it was just a great day of fellowship, fun, and fundraising, and a community event that a lot of people took part in. Over the years that changed, and in 2001 we changed to a live TV auction and conducted it out of the Yellowhead Center. And that was quite popular for a number of years. And again, people would gather in a good crowds and come up and support the auction in the afternoon and have some good fellowship. And it was a real bringing together of the community. And we talk about community, and this year it seems to be more important with this virus and all the challenges we're facing, it's the community that is keeping us all sane every day as we wear our masks and walk uptown and can only wave, or I have to sit 6 feet apart from everybody. We're in a different time, but community is still important, and probably now more important than it has. And of course, we look at the support of the community auction, the Rotary fundraiser, that the donors who donate the goods today, and of course all the people that do the bidding, and that provides the funds that we're able to distribute throughout our community. So it's a real team effort. And when we switched to TV auction back in 2001, we also switched to canvassing donors for new items only, which changed the projection a little somewhat of the auction, but it has worked out very well this year. And in terms of community support, we have already found out that we have more retail dollars donated this year than we had last year. And it doesn't change much, but we have more and more items to sell this year. So it's a great tribute to Neepawa and area community for the support of this auction. Before I interview or talk to some of our guests today, I'd also like to make a note, and it's on a sad note, but I would like to extend our deepest condolences to Joan McGilvery, to Lori, to Roger, to the McGilvery family, and the recent loss of a good friend and a longtime Rotarian and a lifelong member of this community in Roy McGilvery. And Roy was part of the Rotary auction for all his years that he was in Rotary, and that was many, and he was active right up to the last couple of years as a volunteer and in many other community functions. So our very heartfelt sympathy and condolences to the McGilvery family today. Well, we're going to introduce and talk to the president of the Rotary Club, and he has some interesting thoughts, I'm sure, and I don't think needs much of an introduction. He is the voice of the Neepawa former Native team. I'd like to welcome our president of the Neepawa Rotary Club, Wayne Jacobsen. Wayne, thank you for joining us today, and welcome to NACTV Rotary Auction Report.
Thank you, Lyle. Thank you for having me.
Well, we're looking forward to talking to you a bit, Wayne. You've been associated with Rotary for a number of years, certainly have been part of the Rotary auction. Could you just talk a little bit about the changes, not necessarily the details, but how, being president, how have you felt it changed because of the COVID?
Well, certainly the way in which a big part of any community organization is the socialization side of things, with members getting together, being able to take part in various activities, not just the meetings that take place every month. And of course, COVID certainly, as we've moved into Code Red, has changed that completely. We still try and meet via Zoom. Zoom seems to be, a year ago, I don't know if anyone knew the word Zoom, but it seems to be the topic of the day, and so it still allows us to get a bit of that socialization, get together, and camaraderie, but it's still not quite the same thing, and certainly it has curtailed our ability to be active within the community. Whether it's in October, we were lucky to be able to get the highway cleanup job done, and some refurbishing of some of the observation platforms and benches down at Park Lake. But now we entered into the winter solstice a little early.
You mentioned socialization and the fun of fellowship, and of course Rotary, one of the important things. There's several important aspects of Rotary, but socialization and fellowship is one of those items that are very important to us members. How has Rotary affected you in terms of your personal benefits, and what have you got out of Rotary aside from being president this year?
Well, I think for anyone, and you have mentioned it a number of times, is community. And I think a community, it really is only as good as the residents of that community make it. So many times people will say, well, what difference can I make? Well, Rotary has allowed me to have a sense of, I do make a difference. I make a difference within my community, the Neepawa and area, on various levels. But then, just as equally as important, and what I think sort of differentiates Rotary, is certainly on a monthly basis, I have a sense that I can make a difference within the world. Rotary is international, and hopefully people are aware of Polio Plus, which is an initiative started by Rotary International. We now work with the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation and the World Health Organization to eliminate polio throughout the world. We also have a program that our Rotary Club here in Ipuwa supports is Shelter Box Canada, which is an organization that is on the ground almost immediately after major disasters anywhere in this world. And as some of us are aware, the Philippines have been rocked pretty hard with typhoons. And Shelter Box Canada, Shelter Box is an international organization. They are there with large, durable containers that have family-sized tent, food, a source of fresh water, bedding, to allow families that lose their homes the opportunity of having some semblance of normalcy. So, I mean, I just really feel good that Rotary allows me to do things that benefit my own community and the world.
And it's so important because there's different levels of Rotary membership, and you've explained some of them today, and it's very interesting, Wayne. Also, since you've become president, and of course some of the plans were in the previous year, you have made some difference to the regular agenda of Rotary meetings, memberships, and a number of meetings that you have. Could you just talk about that for a minute, please? Wayne?
Certainly. Like when I originally got into Rotary in 1992, there was a fair bit of I don't want to say pressure, but there was an expectation that a member would make one meeting every week. And for some people, that was a way of life. And others, certainly at that time, I was still in the Royal Canadian Mounted Police, and attendance could have been a bit of an issue for me. So you get that sense of guilt. Well, now Rotary has evolved, like all organizations. You need to change with the times in order to survive. And through previous, I would say the past president and maybe the president before that of our club, we decided to make some changes. And I think that's really healthy for our club in that we have a business meeting once a month. And then we have an alternate Wednesday. So the first or second Wednesday of every month is our business meeting. The fourth Wednesday is a regular meeting where we try and have someone of interest from the community, or now with Zoom, who could be anywhere in the world,
Yes.
make a presentation that we would find very interesting and want to get further knowledge about. But then we've also, we've gone to teams, so 5 or 6 individuals have the month of November. So that team then tries to organize, and again we're tempered by COVID-19, but that team would try to organize a social function for the entire club. And it might be a Wednesday noon hour, it might be a Thursday evening. For example, we had the opportunity of touring the new fire hall before it was actually officially opened. And we are huge supporters of the Buds and Bloom, the new daycare, so we had the opportunity of touring it as one of our social functions.
Yeah.
So again, it's that whole sense of camaraderie and engagement for our club members.
There's also a couple of changes in membership forms, family and corporate. Can you just explain that to our viewers, please?
Okay, so certainly again, when I joined, you were sponsored, and generally speaking, you were representing a particular vocation or profession, a lawyer, a police officer, a teacher. Whereas now, and certainly with the Ipuwa Rotary Club, we want people who want to make a difference in our community. And so when they join, they may join as a husband or a wife, or they join as a partner. So we have family memberships. And so one person joins as the voting member, but we really encourage the spouse to become engaged in the club and certainly within our social activities. And then we also have corporate memberships. So we have various businesses within the town of Ipuwa that belong to the Ipuwa Rotary Club, and they have 1 or 2 or 3 employees from that particular business that attend meetings as regularly as they can.
Brings the community together nicely in terms of multiple memberships out of one business, and if one member can't make it a given week, we always have a representative from that, or quite often we have a representative from that business at our meetings.
Yes, yeah, it certainly allows us to get even though we have various business owners and professionals from our community as part of our club, by having those corporate memberships too, we also get a different sense of what's happening in town and where we can best apply our efforts.
Yeah, well, I would hope that our viewers can take some of your discussion that we've just had, Wayne, and think about it, and maybe join us at a Rotary meeting someday, or talk to a Rotarian. I'm sure there's lots of opportunities out there to consider membership at some point, that we can all work together as a community for the betterment of all.
Well, and certainly, I guess that would be sort of my final message. I know that there are tons of people within our community that are engaged in various organizations, minor sports, the arts. So it's not like you can participate in everything that's happening in our community. That's just impossible. But I would really encourage those who are looking for something that will give them that sense of self-satisfaction and reward for their activities to take a look at all of our social or our community groups. And certainly I'm encouraging Nipwa Rotary, but again, look to the service organizations within your community, because they will give you the opportunity of making our community stronger.
And the mission statement of Rotary is, when you mention service, is what?
Service above self. So it really does mean engaging in our community so that our communities are strong and healthy.
Wow. Well, thank you very much for sharing those thoughts with us, Wayne. And on a humorous note, I'm going to ask you, when your term as president comes to an end next June or July, will you make the transition smoothly? Or will you consider staying on for another year?
Well, I'm going to take all the judicial process I can possibly get in order to determine whether I'm going to give it up or not.
Thank you very much for joining us. President Wayne Jacobsen from the Deepwater Rotary Club.
We'll take a quick panoramic tour here of some of the items that have been donated this year. Full details, of course, are found online for the online auction. We've got a fire pit here and a bar fridge, I see. It's energy guided for sure. And then we've got farmery package, lots of goodies there. Looks like a DeWalt grinder maybe beside it. A lot of framed pictures have been given this year, some by Betty Walker, some by Shannon Desjardins and Marie Todeschuk. Down towards the end of the table, we'll find an area rug here and a John Deere space heater, some gift packages, 12-volt battery I see up here on the table, and I think when we swing around to the other side, there's going to be a barbecue over here. We've had one each year, nice looking barbecue. Many gift packs on this table here. TV wall bracket, Milwaukee compact inflator kit, and of course we got many certificates, including a $1,600 travel package as in past years, vouchers to restaurants, personal savings, hairstyling, etc., and many food items, side of beef, ribs, pies, potatoes, lots of things to choose from. We'll look at these in more detail in later shows during the auction, which is December 3 to 10, with further details on how to get to the online website to participate. Now let's turn it back to our host, Lyle Watson.
Well, welcome back to our Deepwa NAC TV Rotary Auction Report. And as I look across the arch forward here and look at all the donations that have been made, it's amazing the support we've had from our community. And of course, we're looking for the same support from our local community in terms of bidding and buying, because that's where the money actually comes from for the fundraiser. But it's a real combination of good, hard work put together by Rotarians, by the community, the donors, and the bidders, and everyone involved. And consequently, I'm lucky. I get to have a lot of fun doing it, just talking to people, which I kind of enjoy doing. And continuing on with our guests, one of our guests in our Rotary Club, not a guest in our Rotary Club, sorry, a guest on the program, is a member of the Deepwater Rotary Club. His name is Ron Nordstrom. You probably know him as a singer and musician as much as you would as a digital technology savvy, I guess I would use the word. But I would like to take this opportunity to welcome Ron to our program today. And Ron, you have been the brains and the hard work put behind changing our form of the auction from a TV auction to that of a digital online auction spread over 7 days versus one afternoon. Could you share with us where the idea come from an online auction, and how you have proceeded to set it up with the help of your committee?
Sure. Thanks a lot, Lyle, for having me here today. When we realized that because of COVID restrictions, we couldn't do an auction the same way that we had done in the past, because in the past, even last year, for example, we had our we had our auction, our TV auction broadcast right from Arts Forward here. We must have had about 20 people working the auction in this building at once. With the current restrictions that we have, even under Code Orange, we knew that that would be impossible. So we knew we had to do either cancel the auction or find a different format. Fortunately, I had heard about a group in Kenora. There's a Rotary group in Kenora that have had an online auction for years. So when I contacted them, they actually had one of the Rotary members who was a programmer, a computer programmer, who wrote his own auction program, kind of like eBay or something like that, but he wrote very specifically for their Rotary auction, and he shared it with a number of other clubs as well. And so I contacted him, and he agreed to share it with our club, and so we're using his software this year for our online auction.
You know, on that note, it's interesting when we talk about Rotary membership and connecting with people. As a member of Rotary, you've got to connect with several people within our district and beyond through your digital technology and Zoom and whatever else you're working with.
Absolutely. And I had some good connections with some Kenora people, because I went to Guatemala a couple of years ago with some other people from Kenora, and I just developed a good relationship with that club. So they let me know about this Mike, who was the computer programmer, and yeah, you do make great connections through Rotary.
So what message can we share with our viewers today, Ron, as to the do's, the don'ts, or the how-tos of participating in an online auction?
Well, first of all, you can go right now, you can go to our Neepawa Rotary website, and there's a few ways to get to our auction site, I suppose. Maybe one of the easiest ones to remember is to either go to Google and do a Google search for Neepawa Rotary Club, and if you do, results will be within the first 5 results. That you'll see that our website will pop up, and our website, our Neepawa website, is neepawarotary/weebly.com. And if you go there, it's very obvious how to follow the links to get to our auction site as well. And once you're in the auction site, whether you're registered to auction or whether you have any intention of bidding on the auction, you can go and take a look at all of the items that are on there. There's about 180 items, somewhere around there right now.
That's a good, just an excellent turnout in terms of donations this year. And also cash donations have been good too, Ron, so we're very thankful for that as Rotary Club. In terms of the technology part of it, is that all that information on our website, or is there some fine detail that maybe you could give our viewers a bit of a comfort zone who may not be familiar with online bidding?
Sure. A lot of that is on our website. In fact, if you follow the links on our website and go to our Rotary auction page, you'll find that there's a link that will take you right to our auction site. There will be another link that will take you to a page that is basically, it's a 2-pager document, online document, that tells you how to register. And in order to bid for any item in our auction, you first have to register, okay? And there'll be a third link there, and that third link tells you how to bid. So it gives you a step-by-step instructions on how to bid. So if you go to our website right now, our auction website, you'll be able to see our 180 or so items. And if you want a closer look at them, you can hit a view bid button and look at it. But you'll see when you go there that it'll tell you the auction is not yet open for bidding. All of our items open on December 3rd at 8 o'clock in the morning, and at that time you can start bidding. You can bid on that item from the time it opens until the time it closes. Now, not all items close at the same time. We have items closing on December 9th and December 10th. On December 9th, they start closing at 9 o'clock, and the last item that day will close at, they start at 7 o'clock. The last item that day will close at 10 o'clock. And on the Thursday night, the 10th, same thing. Items start closing at 7 o'clock and we finish right around 10 o'clock.
Okay, and then pickup is when for the items in pay? Paying is the next question, and you can expand on that a little bit.
Absolutely. So for paying, we do want people to use cash or check only. That would be most convenient for us. We do have a pickup day planned for December 11th at Arts Forward. I forget the exact hours right now, but I believe it starts at 2 o'clock.
10 to 2.
We'll get back to you on those hours.
Okay,
Yeah.
yes. They will be advertised.
They will be advertised for sure, and it'll be advertised on our website, it'll be advertised on Facebook, so certainly go to the Nipoa Rotary Facebook site often, and actually it does tell you on our auction site what time it closes. I just don't recall at this time. But to pick up your items, you'll come here on the Friday, the 11th, between the hours that it tells you on our website, and bring your cash or check and pick up the items here. Again, because of the COVID situation, we will have certain restrictions. We don't want everybody bunching up, either outside or inside. So when you get inside, if there's a number of people inside, there will be markings on the floor. We expect everyone to keep their distance. We also expect everyone who comes in to be wearing a face mask. The only way you can come in to Arts Forward to pick up your items is to wear a face mask.
Yeah, and the face mask is important, and of course, we're honoring the protocol for our distance apart, and it's not easy sometimes. But I was just thinking in terms of the auction and bidding, I wanted to leave this message with our viewers in terms of bidding. We always need a high bidder in order to physically sell the donation, but every bid counts, every bid helps in the fundraising aspect of, because without people bidding, we don't get the highest bid possible. So we certainly are looking at and asking our viewers to participate in the bidding online. If for some reason they don't have access to online, Ron, what is their option?
We do have an option that, let's say you don't have a computer, you don't have a phone that is capable of bidding, it just doesn't have the, it's not up to date, I suppose, because there are some devices out there that are so old that they may not show up on this bidding site. What they can do is we've got, and we will have this information again on our website and on Facebook, but you can call Ivan Trail on December 2nd and 3rd between the hours of 9 o'clock to 5 o'clock. I want to thank the cameraman for prompting me on that. So you can call him, and we'll get the number on Facebook. Do we know the number? 476
5165.
5165. 476 5165. Call Ivan Trail December 2nd or 3rd between 9 o'clock and 5 o'clock. He will take your bid, but remember that give Ivan your highest bid, the highest amount you're willing to pay, because we don't want you calling him 30 times to bid on an item to try and get it for your best price. Give him the highest bid you're willing to pay, and we'll see what you get it for.
I just want to make a note when you're mentioning the highest bid, and we have valuable, they're all new articles. Our value ranges from $50 up to as high as $1,600, but you're going to get value for your bid. And if you go over that highest bid or the retail value of that particular item, all you're doing is, and we appreciate it very much, but you are making a little donation towards the Rotary Club of Nipoa in order that we can carry out our objections and fundraising and where we spend the money. And we'll be talking about where the money is going in a further newer program, later program too. So we'll keep you up to date on that. Is there anything else, Ron, that our viewers would like to know or maybe need to know about the online portion of it?
Well, there are going to be some, in fact, right now there are some instructional videos on our Nipoa Rotary YouTube site. Instructional videos on how to log in, I guess everything except how to bid. There is an instructional sheet on that. So you can actually go to our YouTube site and you can start looking at those things, and you can start roaming around the 180 items online and seeing and marking down maybe some of the stuff you're interested in bidding on. Mark them down by number. I don't believe the numbers will change, although we may get some more items between now and December 3rd. And so we might add a few more things, but the numbers, if you're looking at number 76, for example, it's not going to change. So if you're interested in that number, mark it down, and when it comes time for the auction, start bidding on it.
Yeah. I think the other note I would like to make too, Ron, is that it's all new to us. I'm not totally involved or understand the technical part of it. I think you've done a great job of explaining it, and the information is certainly there on the website, and that's not hard to get to, as I understand.
No, it is not.
It's most people that have a computer or a laptop,
Yeah.
or a phone, I guess.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And you're right, it is new, and so we're not 100% sure what's going to happen when we open this auction and what it looks like when people start bidding. And so if you're not 100% sure, don't worry about it. We are not 100% sure. It's the first time we've ever done it, and there are a few questions that we have that we can't be answered until the auction actually starts.
But as the common saying on our television network, news network, is we'll get through this together.
Absolutely.
To the benefit of the Rotary Club, the auction itself, and for all the people that are going to receive support from the Rotary Club. But it's a great community effort, and it's an opportunity that we can all work together and learn from it also. Any final thoughts, Ron? And we're going to close this program up for today and look forward to the next one. We might have to have you back, I'm not sure. We'll have to see.
No final thoughts. I just encourage everyone to go to our auction website and take a look around and see if there's anything that you might be interested in.
Just a note, Dave, I'd like to make a note as it happened this morning. Yesterday, in fact, a family member we were talking and lives in Squamish, BC, and asked about the Rotary and how to bid, and first thing they said, well, I said, go to the Rotary auction site. And they did. We got a phone call back this morning, very complimentary. They were able to see the items viewed up in BC, and I was informed that there will be a check in the mail made to the Rotary Club of Nipoa. Obviously, they're planning on bidding and hopefully buying some items that day. So if you can't do it yourself, there's maybe a family member, a neighbor, or a friend that'll do it.
I have one thing I guess I should add, actually. And because it's a Rotary auction, any device that has a website, you're able to view the items and register for the auction and bid on the item. So it doesn't have to be a computer. If you don't have a computer at home, don't worry. If you've got a phone that has a web browser on it, you can use that. If you've got an iPad, as long as you're connected to the internet, you can bid on our items and view our items. With a phone, be sure to turn it sideways so you can see it properly.
Well, thank you for all the work you've put into the Rotary auction and working on this new format, and it's going to be very interesting come the 11th of December when we have a chance to sit down and review what the results are and how successful, and maybe the learning for next year. Thank you very much, Ron, for joining us. I'd like to also take this opportunity to thank Rotarian Dave Bennett for all the work he's done in putting this programming together and doing the film work today. And I'm going to ask him if he would just take a moment and take a shot of some of the donations that are around here at Arts Forward. Thank you very much for watching, and remember, each evening from here on in until the 10th of December, we're planning on to have a Rotary update. Thank you very much for watching. Till next time, Lyle Watson, have a good day.
In this video, we're going to show you how to get around our auction page. First of all, when you first come up to the page, you'll probably see something like this, showing 25 entries only. We have around 180 different entries, so one thing you can do is switch this view to all. When you do, as you scroll down the page, you'll get past 25. You'll be able to see every item that we have. Let's go back to the top. Let's say you're searching for something very specific. Well, every browser does this a little bit different, but usually under Edit, you will find something called Find. If I go to Find, and there's a shortcut key for Find as well. If I go to Find, this box just popped open. I can start typing some text in there. And it's only going to find the stuff that's on the current page. If you only have 25 items showing, if the item you're looking for is actually item number 26, it won't find it. So be sure you've got it showing at all over here. So let's go to the Find. Let's say I know that Ford has put something in, but I want to find out what it is. When I start typing Ford, I can see that there's one entry, and look at that. It took me to item number 11 from Westward Ford, an item there with a value of $300. If I go back here and I want to find another item, let's say I'm looking for pizza. I put in a P and look, it's found 46 P's. There's 3, showing 3 of 21. ZZ, so there's only 6. All right, there's 5 different references to pizza. Here's the first one. And if I go here and I hit the down arrow, I can see the next one. I go to the down arrow again. I can keep doing that until I see all 5 references to pizza. If you want to look at more detail on an item, hit the View Bid button on any item. And you'll see a larger image with some more details. The bidding details are down here. Notice, of course, it tells you here the item is not yet open for bidding. But once it's opened, it will tell you what the high bid is and who the highest bid is at the moment. Notice for this item, the bidding increment is $5. So if somebody had bid $15, you could not bid $16. You would have to go up $5 to $20. That's it for now.